Welcome back, everybody, to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. Join me, Sean, and my fellow American Rodney as we explore the good, the bad, and the just plain weird.
This is a song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is a song that never ends. I hope you're going to stop me at some point.
Yeah, end it. Okay.
So we'll give a little behind the scenes for all the listeners out there, because normally, we have, based on world events and things that happened at ICA this week, we have an idea of the song that we're going to come in with. Right. And Rodney straight up I had the song last week. I'm like, okay, I have a feeling Rodney is going to come hard with a good song to come into with. He's like, so I'm songless. I'm like, well, I'm going Sherry Lewis, baby. That was the first thing that popped into my head.
You leave me no option. Yeah, and I don't know why, because typically sometime before we record, something will just, it'll just be like, oh, okay, that'll be a cool song to do. But I have a feeling that I have been so distracted today. I have been...
Yeah, basking in the glory of something or the other.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
So Rodney is still... I should know better. But the San Francisco 49ers, the NFL American football team from San Francisco, the Bay Area, won their playoff game last night. Another 90s matchup against the Green Bay Packers, half expecting Brett Favre to run out on the field there.
Yeah.
But they could play a game 3 days in a row, and you would have kit to wear to have the support.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. No, I got mojo. I got all kinds of. I got gear. I got all the stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was. And we're not going to delve too long into this, but what I will do is tell people, if you're an American football fan and you live overseas in a different time zone, that can kind of put a little wrinkle in your sleep schedule.
Or it makes it very hard to watch sports and be in that thing.
Yeah. Case in point, 49ers, Green Bay Packers played at 2:15 this morning. 2:15.
Oh, today. Oh, that's right. That's true. It happened today, our time.
It was 8 p.m. there last night. But
yeah.
So 2:15 in the morning. And for a little while during the day, I was thinking, I'll take a power nap. I'll go ahead and, I'll be ready to go. Maybe I'll set my alarm and get up.
No, you got to go the other way. You have to plan 2 days ahead and then fall asleep early and then wake up early and then do the nap today in the middle of the day.
Yeah. But it was, and then the flip side of that is, if you decide not to stay up, like I didn't, I decided, you know what? I'm actually going to sleep tonight. When I was able to relax enough to fall asleep, then I got up this morning. When you decide to do that, then you have to do a social media and digital blackout, which means that in the morning when you get up, you cannot look at anything if you don't want to,
It's kind of like if you follow a certain sport in the Olympics super close.
Right.
You have to completely get rid of Facebook for a month.
Yeah. But so that's what I did this morning. And then something happened. My phone plinged and I was like, but if I check it, are there going to be notifications that tell me one way or the other?
Yes, there will be.
So what I did was I didn't put my glasses on. So I looked at my phone just to see what it was that plinged, but since I didn't have my glasses on, I couldn't really, I didn't see detail. I just saw a blob.
What app it came from because of the color of the little square.
Exactly.
You see, being an elder statesman comes in handy sometimes.
Yes.
Got to work with what you got.
Yeah. But I feel the Lambeau, the Wisconsin fans that packed that stadium, minus 11 degrees, and it started
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it was minus 11
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Celsius minus 11.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
a little bit better.
Yeah, but that's still yeah.
It's still awful.
Yeah,
it's awful.
just it doesn't matter how you slice it. It's
No.
But so I felt for everybody in there, and I'm watching it. If let's just say that every person that has to do with American football sports that does any type of commentating basically said the Niners can't win. The Niners aren't going to win. They're going to Lambeau. It's Frosty the Snowman weather. Blah 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 blah. So. And
it's like every time the Dolphins have to walk into New England.
Right.
Tell me these Florida people are going to go up there and win in the snow? I don't know, man.
Yeah, but hey, it was it actually, I mean, sitting in Sweden, I was sitting there and I was just happy. I was like, man, I'm sure glad it isn't that cold over here.
Yeah, weird feeling that.
But yeah, I mean, they pull off this win. Anyway, we don't have to go too deep into it, but they pulled off this amazing. It was actually
everyone at home has to know. Rodney's got his hats on. He's popping his bling. He's got his 49ers chain out.
Absolutely.
Like, give him respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was
smelling himself. I think they say
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun when it was over, and I sat there for 10 minutes after the game going, No. So yeah, that was
that's amazing.
That was
then you went, oh no, it's now 6 o'clock in the morning and I haven't slept at all.
Yeah, I that's exactly what I said right before. I said, wait a minute, does that mean that we might be facing Tom Brady next week?
Oh boy.
So anyway, we'll see. Two games.
Hey man, at least on something like that, you get notifications.
Right. Yeah.
Because it wasn't Ika this time.
Uh-oh.
But I've got a bone to pick. I've got a bone to pick.
Here we go.
I had to go. Now, we've been pretty lucky. We told all the family, don't send us Christmas gifts
Right.
until, January, right? Because we're going to be in Miami. Don't send us stuff from the States because it's just wait. And then inevitably we can't take it back with us. So it's not really... Unless it's like something bubbly or something you eat, then there's no point in sending it to us. So we get back here. We've been lucky. Most of the stuff has somehow come through like Bring or Air Me, like these two new companies that bring the packages right to your door.
Right.
Of course, they're like, be at home between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm like, guys, come on. You're not Comcast. Let's pick up the pace here. So the one package... I had to go to the Big Ika for, right? So you got to get on the little train, a little 5-minute walk, 10 minutes to get to the train, 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, we have to go on the weekend and make a thing of it. Is there anything else over there that we need?
Right.
I'm like, well, there's this pipe under the sink that's kind of slowly leaking, like where the trap is. Not that big of a deal, but like I'd rather, like, I don't want to have to go through replacing all the PVC piping. I'd rather just, put a little plumber's tape around the screw of like where the joint is leaking and then screw it, see if that holds it.
Right.
And then if it's still having a problem, then okay, we may have to figure out if it's aligning properly and change some parts and pieces. But at least plumber's tape is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if we're going to Ika, there's got to be like a Shell and Company.
Now you're talking.
Around there somewhere.
Right.
Now this store, if I say Shell and Company, anyone who's from America right now who doesn't currently live in Sweden or has never heard of it before would never find it if they were standing directly in front of the front door.
Okay, I got you.
Like in front of their face. Because
Right.
Shell is not like Royal Dutch Shell, like Sally sells seashells.
Yeah.
SHELL.
No.
It's KJELL.
Exactly.
And Co.
Yes.
And you're just like, okay, man, whatever. That's Shell. Fine. I'll go with it. But this store, you can't shop in. So you go in there, and there's a few little things like if you think of like an Ace or a True Value or a typical hardware store,
Right.
like there's certain things that are like as you're arriving to the register that are always out there.
Yeah.
Like that's where you find batteries and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's kind of the stuff that's out
That you can
in
touch.
the quote unquote showroom
Yeah.
that you can touch.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is also one of those stores where you have to know you have to take a number. Mm-hmm. Like I'm already rolling up. I've been through this experience before where you're like trying to stand in line and then everyone starts moving around and you're like, what is going on?
Right.
And why are you all holding pieces of paper?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to like a deli counter goes.
yeah,
That would have been nice to know an hour ago.
Sure.
So I'm already on the hunt for the number giver, like it's like a little iPad with a printer attached to it. So I get my number, and there's 3 like kiosks, like checkouts, but only 2 people working. And both the people, of course, as always, they both have customers. And I'm sitting there waiting, and I see this other guy's been waiting.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on in the conversation. I can't eavesdrop. I don't have those skills, those Swedish skills.
Right.
But my God, this one guy, like they're just talking to each other forever. And the other person with the other sales representative, they're staring at the computer screen and going through what must be the entire company's website.
Okay.
Just like searching for a product. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. And there's 2 more like numbers to get through to get to mine. And I'm like, all I want is some plumber's tape, man. You could just put it out front and I would be in and out of you could put it in a Home Depot where you can't find anything.
Yeah.
And I would be able to get in and out with the plumber's tape in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. And this time of year, you got your winter coats on, and then you like notice, I should have taken my coat off probably 10 minutes ago because now I'm starting to sweat.
Sure.
But I don't want to take my coat off now because I'm going to have all these weird sweat blotches all over my clothes. And it's just like a weird thing. And then you're just like sitting there increasingly miserable, like, look at me, get out of the store, you customers, get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. The other guy who was before me had left.
Okay.
He's just like, I can't take it anymore. This isn't worth my time. And I'm like, oh God, if he's leaving and he's given up on life.
It's like a game show.
Now all that pressure has come on to me.
All right.
So then one customer gets resolved. Okay, they leave. And I'm like sitting there like, yeah. I'm ready. Yeah, say 83 and then say 84. And I'm here, ready. And the guy's like, he's trying to staple something to a receipt. And I'm like, that customer left, man. Throw it in the trash. You don't need that anymore. You checked out on a computer. The computer tracks your purchases for the business. That's what it does. And then he's like trying to staple, and there's no staples in the stapler.
Okay.
And he keeps trying to staple it. And I'm like,
You're like Forrest?
dude, like,
Forrest?
you try twice. You try the stapler twice.
Yeah.
And then if anything, you open it up and see, oh, it is really out of staples. It's not jammed. You don't keep trying to staple it 15 times. What planet are you from?
Yeah.
Like, get out of here. And then so he has to go to the stapler next door. And he does that. And I'm like, okay, fine. Okay. The pressure, the spotlight is on. Call number 84. And then he looks up, sees about 5 people hovering around with tickets, and walks in the back. I'm like, no! What are you doing? And he disappeared for at least like another good 10 minutes. I'm like,
They close your lane?
And then the foot tapping starts happening. You're just like, what are we doing here? And finally, okay, he comes out. Now, of course, he has to reboot the computer, relog into the computer system, and blah, blah. Number 83. No, number 83 left 20 minutes ago. Call number 84. 84. Yes! Right here. So I waddle over there, and I'm like, okay. I don't know what you call this, but I need plumber's tape.
Oh, no.
And he looks at me and he's like, yeah, I don't think we have that here. I'm like, what kind of hardware store are you? You don't have plumber's tape? He's like, yeah, no, I know we have electrical tape and masking tape, but I don't think we have plumber's tape. Let's look at the website. I'm like, no, I've seen this scenario happen already. He's like, scroll. He's like, well, I mean, maybe you could find it at Clas Ohlson. I'm like, I don't want to go to IKEA today.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And he's like, or maybe you could find it at Bauhaus. I'm like, I know I can find it at Bauhaus, but I don't want to walk over to Bauhaus. I'm here right now.
Right.
And then I came to this realization. I like throw my ticket on the floor in disgust.
Right.
Of course, no one's like there to receive the disgust.
No.
They're just like, this person is insane. He doesn't even speak our language, and he's throwing things in random places. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what this is? This is the Swedish equivalent of the DMV. Yeah. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Boy, you showed them on.
They're like, what's a DMV?
Yeah. They're like, man, those American guys.
I'm like, how do you run a store like this?
Hey, as soon as you...
And what's worse, there's a liquor store, the Systembolaget,
right,
with the same business model in Hutterjet, where you can't go shopping for stuff.
Yeah.
You have to tell the person at the counter what you want, and then they go in the back and get it for you.
Right.
I'm like, who invented this?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Which Gustav or Johan invented this system?
Right.
Because it's horrible.
Yeah. Hey, but you know that at Shell and Company, as soon as you like went out the door, that guy probably pulled out like a couple rolls of plumber's tape and like showed everybody else.
Oh,
online.
yeah.
Like, hey,
oh, yeah.
They're like, hey, the American guy wanted plumber's tape.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, he said he didn't need any PVC piping. It comes in a bundle with PVC pipes, so I'm not going to sell him the PVC pipes.
Right. I can't do that.
Right. Oh, God, people.
Hey, and that's the Stockholm that you're talking about in Hötorget down there. It's not very big. It's like it's tiny. Like a little facade with a couple of, there's definitely no spontaneous buying there. I mean,
no, well, they don't want that anyway. They don't want you to spend money in that store. That's the whole purpose, isn't it?
Exactly. Bah, humbug. I have my own little tale of customer service that that kind of slips and slides right into this one.
Oh, do tell.
I went to Office Depot because I had to buy paper for a project. The paper I needed was A3, which is the equivalent of tabloid, like a little bit larger. You know, you got A4 is letter and A3 is like tabloid. So
the way the system works here is A4, when you go down in size,
right,
you're doubling the size of the paper, right? It's like two A4s stuck to each other.
Actually, A1 is like the largest. That's like a parent sheet of paper.
And then an A2 is half of an A1.
Exactly. And then half of that. And then
an A3 is half of an A2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect metric sense. It does.
Yes.
I fought it damn hard for the first couple of months, and then I just gave in and went, hey, you know what? They might have a point. But so this Office Depot is off of Odengatan. It's like right across from, it's pretty big. It's right across from Hard Rock.
Odengatan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Near Odenplan.
Exactly. So,
sort of.
Yeah. So on my way home, I hop off. I go down to this Office Depot. Hadn't been there before, but I'm thinking, you know, I know they have paper. Of course they're going to have paper. But I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'll go down there. I'll get the paper I need. One of the problems I have is that everything is in grams, of course, like paperweight. At home, we have like when you buy paper, it's all in. So for me to get so for me to get the paper that I want.
So let's come back a little bit for the people who don't understand designer and creative speak.
Right.
Your paper weight is how thick the weight is, which also affects the weight.
Exactly.
So in the U.S., you can have like calipers and like pounds and all sorts of stuff. And here it's grams, of course.
Yeah, which doesn't do anything for me because I called the printer and he was like, "You want 120 gram? You want 160 gram? You want an 8-ball?" I need
I need the old sample book to feel it, you know?
Yeah, so that's what I did. I went to Office Depot. I walk in through the door. It's not that big of a shop. You know, it's okay. It's not, you know, the hugest shop, but I'm feeling comfortable. I'm like, it's an Office Depot. I feel kind of at home a little bit-ish.
Yeah, it's an Office Depot that's like a quarter of the size of an American Office Depot.
Right. But I'm in there. I'm feeling good. I'm like, oh, there's paper. I went, over to the paper section, found the A3 paper I need, which was pretty dang heavy. It was it's like a full, I don't know how many, it's 250 sheets. It's heavy. And then I had to get A4 in a special color. That was also, I don't know if it was 250 or 5. It was heavy too. So I'm like walking around with, these two big stacks of paper. I walk over to the counter and she's like, are you ready to pay? And I'm like, no, actually, I'm just wondering if I could put these down on the counter and take a quick look because there was something else I was looking for. And she's like, no, you can't do that.
Excuse me?
And I was like, say what? No, but I was like, what? And she was like, no, our counter's not big enough for you to just leave stuff on it. And I was like, oh.
Well, here, hold this for me then.
Well, I didn't really know how to respond to that. I'm standing there with these two things of paper. I'm like, oh, okay, I see open counter space, but obviously she's already decided that, no, we're not doing that today. She was like, what you can do is put it in one of those wheeled baskets and then take it around the store with you. So I walk over.
Now, that's when you pick up the reams and you hold them about shoulder height and you deadpan look the person straight in the eye and then you just let go and let them hit the floor. Like, that's where they're going.
I just couldn't. I mean, once I closed my mouth and I took my paper and I stuck it in one of the wheeled, I was like, I'm pulling my wheeled basket.
With your little squiggly wheel as well.
And then I come to find out that when you came in, you were supposed to grab, they have laminated number because you're only allowed to be 15 people in the store. So they have numbers.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So when you grab the number, you go in and you do your stuff and then you put the number back. But I didn't. I was just so happy to be at Office Depot. I didn't realize that.
Now, let me tell you, the Swedish system, you got to be like the liquor store. The employees count how many people are in there and then they send the bouncer outside and say, no. You wait here.
Yeah.
You wait here.
Yeah.
But man, I'm on the list. No, you wait here.
Yeah.
And then you got to let two people come out for one to go in.
Yeah. It was such a
laminated placards. Get out of here.
It was such a funky situation. I went around, took a look, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy anything else. I've just decided I am not buying anything else. So I go back, and there's nobody else in line. So I'm standing. I wheel back to the counter. I go to the counter. I'm standing in line, and then there's like that pause where she didn't immediately acknowledge the fact that I'm the only person standing there waiting to pay. And then she was like, okay, did you find everything you were looking for? And I was like, yeah, except for counter space. But
how much does that go for these days per square foot?
Yeah. And then she tried to sell me a bag. And she was like, would you like to buy a plastic bag to put that in?
No, I'm going to take this little cart with wheels with me.
Yeah. No, I'm going to take a sheet of this paper, origami myself a bag. No, I actually had a bag with me in my backpack. I have like a.
Oh, always carrying around the extra IKEA and Co-op bags.
And, and what I did was I took my time as I was like packing, the stuff. First, when I was going to charge it, I used a business credit card. I used my business credit card. So and what I do was when I pulled out the card. Occasionally I forget the PIN number because I don't use it very often. So I had to go onto my phone and then go through like notes and to this place. And I saw that a couple people behind me started getting a little flustered. She's getting really.
Oh, so now there's people in the line.
Now there's people behind me.
Rodney's taking his time putting the two items in his bag, and there's no one else in the store.
Yeah. But so there's a couple people waiting behind me. She's looking at me, and I can see where her eyes are starting to get like a little glossy, And as I see this, I feel the tension building. It just made me go even slower. I mean, I was like looking. I was like checking my SMS, like my text messages, and I was like, I'm going to find the code here. And
hold on. I've got a call coming in from Thailand. Let me take this real quick.
Oh, it's my friend at Staples down the street. No, but it was
jeez.
again, and she was just in kind of a bad, foul mood because they were yelling at people. They came through the door and tried to not take one of those laminated plaques. She's like, wait. Nah.
Weird, man. Weird.
Yeah, that was weird. It definitely wasn't a dollar store because everybody's welcome to dollar store.
Man, you always get some good finds down there. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but if there are any listeners out there who don't check out our Instagram account, now is the time. Now is the time.
Hey, before they lock our account, before they do that.
Rodney found these couch pillows that,
very comfortable.
Let's see what happens to our account.
Yes, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean,
no, the best thing is it tends to happen on like a Saturday afternoon. I get a text message from Rodney going, "Guess which store I'm at right now?" And it's accompanied by a picture, and it's one of the most outlandish things you've seen in your life. Like, he's got a costume that makes him look like Ric Flair,
yes.
Or like there's the giant random ampersand in leopard and skunk print or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the stores here are not that big.
No.
They're just cycling through random new stuff all the time.
Right.
And you go there every week, so it's like always a new find, something for you to see.
But what gets me sometimes is when I make these marvelous finds, sometimes I stop myself and I think, what was the buyer thinking? I mean, there's buyers, right, for these chains that like decide what gets bought and what gets put on the shelf, and but they're looking at what's hot and what can sell. And some of these items that I find in dollar store, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, who, what, where,
yeah. There's someone who works in the corporate office their job is to look through all of their suppliers and find stuff to resell. That's what they do. That is their job. Yeah. And there is, for all this weird, and again, if you have not checked the Instagram now, pause the pod, go check the Instagram and come back, and you will understand what we are talking about. Mm-hmm. But that person who has a corporate job and spends money on an expense account to buy this stuff, like mass quantity order, had to have a business case in their head where I see that there is going to be X number of people that will buy this from us for this reason.
There is potential. This might go viral. They're like, this whatever pillow with additional cushions. No, but I mean, there's
the only thing I could think of is, how a couple years ago all those emoji pillows went viral? So there was like the crying, laughing one, and there was the poop emoji.
Right.
And they were like throw pillows. That's the only thing I can come up with for why they bought that specific thing.
Unless there's like some spiteful thing happening, like higher up inside the buying hierarchy.
I like this now.
But I'm
thinking
like
this.
Somebody might be like, okay, let's see you guys sell these. I'll take 3 containers.
Oh my God, that would be fabulous. And it would make so much sense for that dollar store.
Yeah. And it's not my regular one. It was another one that we
it wasn't the normal dollar store.
It was the same dollar. Well, not the same. It was a dollar store, but in a different city. Because Lynn and I.
Oh wow! So they're all messed up.
Yeah. So we went on an outing to go like to normal stores. I'm sorry, dollar store. I didn't mean to call or insinuate that you aren't normal. But we had lined up our day to go to clothes shopping and pop in here and there. And as soon as we walked through the front door, it was like this huge dollar store sign. And
see, now I'm imagining Rodney and Lena standing next to each other, shoulder to shoulder.
Yes.
You both probably saw it at the same time.
Yes.
Lena probably let out a sound akin to a ugh. And Rodney turns at the same time with like eyes like You see that? You see that? I'm going in, baby.
Dude, I was like 5 years old. I was like, can we please? And we had so much time that Lena was like, hey, do you want to go in? I was like, yes. Yeah.
Do fish like water? Of course I want to go in. Here, take my phone. You're taking all the pictures.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. They had some painting of Michael Jackson. I went like down one aisle. I was like, just one. It wasn't even a collection. It was just a painting.
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, we got to come back to this place.
We got to do more clothes shopping. This one's the money one. We need some variety in our dollar store lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely a trip to remember.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All right, everyone out there in listener land, that's all the time we have for this week. But as always, thank you so much for tuning in. But the fun does not have to stop here. Head over to our Instagram page, check out what's going on. Hit us up on the website, take a look at it. Rodney's always doing like some nice, neat little tweaks. We got some merch in there for your shopping pleasure. And then come back here next time for more Two Guys, Three Crowns.